Okay, so let's get into the Shopify website building portion of the course. And for this website, I think I'm going to go ahead and use the Acne patches I talked about earlier to build a store around that, since I already know that it's a successful product and I already know how to build a successful website for that product. I mean, because I've already had experience with the product, I feel like I can do a much better job of teaching you guys how to build a website around something that I've already done previously. I'm going to start from complete scratch here. When you go on shopify.com, you're greeted with this homepage. You want to go ahead and press start free trial. Okay, so you're going to have to type in an email address, create a password, and then enter a store name. And a few quick things about choosing a store name: you got to make sure that it sounds nice and it's easy to remember. You don't want people to read it and have doubts in their minds of how they can pronounce that. You want it to be very clear and very easy to pronounce, and again, that's going to help people remember it. You also want to make sure that nobody else has that name for their company yet. And the thing is, even if nobody has a company named exactly what you want to name it, what you want to do is go on Instagram and try to make an account with the name you want to go with. You want to make sure that your company name has a username that's available for it without any underscores or periods, just your clean username without anything else. And then the next thing you want to do is check if that domain is available, and I'll show you guys how you can do that later in the video when we actually buy a domain. And so with all of this in mind, I decided to go with Pimple Patches. It sounds nice, easy to pronounce. I secured the Instagram username, and I think I'm going to be able to get the domain name for it. Oh, and one more tip about deciding on a name: a tool that I use that's a huge help for me is thesaurus.com. I mean, say I wanted to name my company Zit Patches, but then I went on Instagram, that username was taken. So what I would then go do is put in Zit in the thesaurus and see what words mean the same thing. Then I would find pimple and I'd have Pimple Patches, or the other way around. Maybe I put in patches, but Pimple Patches was taken, and then I could find a synonym for patches. So I mean, that might be a super obvious tip to some of you guys, but I'll be honest, I sometimes forget about it and forget to use it, but it's there. I'd recommend you guys use it. It's free. It's really good. Okay, start free trial. And before you get into your store, Shopify is going to ask you a few questions here. They're not too important or anything like that. It's then going to ask you for your address. So you want to enter your address and then hit enter my store. Okay, so here we are. We have a Shopify account. Now let's get into designing the actual website. So the first thing I basically always do is you want to go on online store, go on themes, and select a different theme. Now you could use the default debut theme, but I mean, so many people use it. You kind of want to differentiate yourself from other dropshipping stores. So I would recommend selecting one of Shopify's other free themes that they have. So here are the free ones, and for this one, I'm going to go ahead and go with a Brooklyn theme over here, go with this classic style, hit add to theme library. Now that you've added the theme, you want to go ahead and publish it so that it's going to be the one that pops up instead of the regular debut theme. Okay, and now we can actually go ahead and customize the store. First up, what you want to do is switch the view to the mobile view, just because you basically don't have to worry about the desktop view when you're creating your Shopify website. I mean, we're going to be advertising through Instagram influencers and Facebook ads, and when I look at my analytics for my Shopify stores, it says that 99% of the people who go on the store actually view it for mobile, and it makes a lot of sense because, I mean, who goes on Instagram or Facebook on the computer nowadays? So don't even stress about the desktop view, just go ahead and switch over to the mobile view right away. Okay, so when you're working with a Brooklyn theme or a lot of the themes, they have the first homepage thing as a slideshow. I would recommend that you don't make it a slideshow, but instead make it one single image. So to do that, just go ahead and go to the second slide and hit remove content. And there you go. Now it's not going to be a slideshow. It's just going to be a nice, clean one image. Then you want to go ahead and go back and remove basically all of the little sections they have here stock. So go ahead, remove section, collection list, remove section, featured collection, remove section, newsletter, remove section. Then you want to go ahead and click add section and then scroll down to the featured product part, hit that, hit add. And we're going to add a product later, so don't worry about this for right now. Just go ahead and go back. And then you also want to go ahead and actually add back that the newsletter sign up. I accidentally deleted that. Let's go ahead and add that back. For the heading of it, you can write something like why pay full price. And then for the subheading, let's go ahead and write okay, so something along the lines of enter your email below to receive discount codes, giveaways, updates, and more directly to your inbox. Now we're going to go ahead and scroll up and work on this first page over here. So for the slideshow, that's no longer a slideshow, that's just one still image. We're going to go ahead and want to put a really nice picture here. So what you don't want to do is go on Google Images and find something cool there, just because most of the photos on Google Images are going to be copyrighted. So if you want to play it safe and you don't want to run into any legal troubles, what I would recommend doing is going on a website called Pixel, or sorry, it's Pexels with an E instead of the I. But this website just basically gives you free stock photos. So we're selling a skincare product on this website. So I'm going to go ahead and search up and see what they have for skincare. I mean, as you can see right off the bat, you got a lot of very high quality images that you can use for free, which is really cool. Okay, so I found this image right here. I think if we crop it vertically, it's gonna look really cool. I mean, this looks super professional, and I think we can use that pink background to actually use that as one of our main colors for the whole website, and gonna have a theme revolving around that color. So let's go ahead and download this, free download. So I mean, this website is great. All these free images, free content you can use for your store, copyright free. If you're just starting out, this is a huge asset if you can't actually go out and get your own content. But anyways, let's go ahead and use that image we just downloaded to add that to our slide. Select image, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drag it over here. 30 megapixel. So I loaded this image into Photoshop, and if you don't have Photoshop, I highly recommend that you get it. I mean, learning Photoshop is such a useful skill nowadays, even outside of e-commerce. If you can afford it, I would definitely recommend getting into Photoshop. It's absolutely great. I would even go as far as saying it's one of the biggest factors in the reason why I was successful with e-commerce. But if you don't want to get into Photoshop and you don't want to pay for Photoshop, you can actually use something called Canva. It's this website right over here. And it's kind of like a simpler to use version of Photoshop online. You don't have to download anything. And the best thing is they have a free 30-day trial. So if you want to try that out, you can go ahead and use that as kind of a Photoshop replacement. But I strongly recommend that you learn how to use Photoshop. I mean, it's such a powerful tool. So let's hop back into Photoshop. And the only thing I want to do to this photo is actually trim it vertically so that we can upload it into Shopify, sorry. Okay, so let's see how that's gonna work. File, save as. Okay, so I'm gonna hit upload image. Okay, so I mean, this is already looking pretty nice, but I think I want more pink on the top. I don't want her head to be cut off by the pimple patches, so I'm gonna hop it back into Photoshop real quick and edit the crop. So let's hit change here and upload the new version. Okay, so I feel like that looks a little better. Let's go ahead and hit select. Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll down over here and choose this overlay opacity to 0%. Or actually, let's boost it up a little to 10. Okay, that looks good. And for this subheading, let's see, what can we write here? So I put no more popping because, you know, these patches are gonna make it so you don't have to pop your pimples. And I think that looks pretty cool, so we'll just go ahead and run with no more popping. Okay, now we gotta do something about this font. It doesn't look very nice, so let's head into theme settings, go into typography, hit change. And you can go ahead and play around with different fonts. The font I'm gonna go with is called Lotto. It's a nice, simple font. Honestly, your whole goal of selecting a font is to make sure that people don't notice the font. So I mean, you don't want to use anything super fancy, intricate. You want to use something simple that looks nice and clean and just overall a very simplistic look. And then you want to scroll down and switch the body text to, again, the same font. You don't want to have a bunch of different fonts on your website. And then again, same with the accent text, switch that to whatever font you choose. Okay, now back in the theme settings, let's go ahead and hit colors and play around with these. You absolutely don't want to have a bunch of colors all throughout your website. I would recommend sticking to 3. So we're going to go ahead and do black, white, and then probably this shade of pink that we have on this front image here. So let's hit link and accents and try to find that pink color. Okay, so there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and go back to sections and go to the front page, and let's do something about this front header here. So first of all, I would recommend you remove the announcement, at least for now. Show announcement, remove that. And now for this top header, you want to go ahead and add in a logo. So you can do a couple things here. You can go ahead and hire somebody on Fiverr to create a logo for you. It can be very cheap. I mean, people will do it for like $5 a pop. Or you can go ahead and design your own logo if you think you're capable of doing so. And a very simple way to create a nice looking logo is to just play around with the font of this top header. That's the only font where I would recommend you can do something creative, something very exquisite, and that looks very different and stands out. The other fonts on your website, you want to keep them very simple. And something you can do to find really cool fonts is to just go ahead and go on Google and type in royalty-free fonts and see what you can find. Okay, and when you do find a font, you want to save it in 2 different colors. You want one black and one white. For the homepage logo, you want to go ahead and put in the white logo. And then for the regular logo, go ahead and put in the black logo. So I already have that saved here. And the reason you want 2 colors is, as you can see on the homepage, you want the white one so it would match the cart and the little settings menu here. And when you go on, let's say, a product page, or let's go into the catalog here, you can see here that if you had the white logo, it would just blend in with the header. So you want the black logo over here. And the other thing you want to do with your little font logo is make sure you save a separate file with just the first letter of the font. So in this case, it would be P, because when we go into theme settings and then we hit favicon, you want to select image and put in that first initial. And what this actually is as you can see on my screen here, you see how the Shopify has this little logo here. Pexels also has this little logo. That's called the favicon. And you don't have to worry about this. Not too many people will even look at it. But if you want to look professional, I would recommend adding the first initial of your store name. Okay, so the next step is you want to go into the checkout portion and add your logo to the checkout page. It's going to make things look a lot more professional if you have that there. And you want to use the black version of the logo for this. Oh, actually, sorry. One more step you want to do is go on the cart page and instead of the drawer, enable the page. Okay, so I actually can't show you the checkout page just yet because we haven't added a product yet, but let's go back to checkout. You want to scroll down to the colors and switch this accents to one of the 3 colors you chose earlier. I'm going to go with the pink. Buttons, we'll keep the buttons black, and the errors, let's just go ahead and make them completely red. Okay, so we're almost finished here. Just a couple of things I want to do for this store specifically. I don't really like how that Pimple Patches font really contrasts with this simple No More Popping font, so I think I'm going to go ahead and add another image under this first one. Go under image, hit image with text. Okay, go back or hit add. I'm going to hit select image and actually found one that one of the sellers provides that looks really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and add that one in. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and go back. And over here, you can actually order things the way you want them to be. So I'm going to put this one up on top under the slideshow. And then I'm going to go ahead and add section, get some text going, add text. And I'm going to put this text in between the slideshow and the image with text. And then let's edit this, remove this paragraph. Okay, and this is where I'm going to put no more popping. Okay, now let's go back and remove the no popping from the slideshow. And now we can actually put the overlay opacity to 0. Okay, so I really like how this looks. It's very high quality, looks professional, looks like a real brand. The only thing I don't like though is how they edited this image. They kind of made the girl look dead. So I'm gonna probably go ahead and edit that real quick to, give her some life. So I'll go into Photoshop, hit adjustments here and boost the saturation. Okay, that looks pretty good. Save as. This picture is kind of tricky just because it's not very high quality to begin with, but I think this is gonna look better. Okay, that's too dark. Okay, that'll do. Okay, so we got the front image looking good, no more popping. Then we got this. Now let's actually go into the text and describe the product a little bit. So let's hit select for that image. Okay, so this is what I added. You can pause the screen and read through it if you like, but it's just something to kind of relate to the customer and help convince them to purchase the product. So, I mean, this is looking pretty good for now. Let's go ahead and save. Okay, I actually took a quick break here, made some coffee. Cheers, guys. Let's get on with the design. Next thing you want to do is actually hit the Shopify logo over here, which will lead you back to outside of this designing little thing they have. So although we're done with the design of the website, we still got some stuff we got to do in the back end. So first up, let's go ahead and create the product page. So to make a product page, we got to add a product. So what you would do is hit products. This will pop up and you want to hit add product. Title it, whatever your product is titled. And then you would go ahead and proceed with the description. Okay, so I tapped it out. Here's what we got so far. If you want to pause the video and read through it, feel free to do so. But we got some text going on over here. And then I also found a diagram online that kind of goes with what we're selling here. And a big thing that you don't want to forget if you're selling a product that has multiple pieces is you want to add in how many pieces come when somebody buys the product. And to find that out, you first got to find a supplier on AliExpress. So I'm going to go ahead and go with these guys. They got 1,000 orders, 28 reviews. They look legit and they said that they ship 24 pieces with every order. So I put each pack comes with 24 individual patches. And by the way, adding some sort of image or diagram or even a GIF inside of your product description is going to do wonders. It's going to make it look a lot more professional. So that's something I definitely recommend you do. Now we're going to go ahead and scroll down and add an image. If you haven't taken your own images yet, don't worry. What you can do is go on AliExpress, scour through all of the listings and try to find the best looking images from there. So I got this one right here. Now we're going to go ahead and scroll down and price the product. To decide that, we're going to look at how much this is going to cost shipped to the US. So if we choose e-pack shipping for this product, it costs $2.11. The product costs $1.69. So we're looking at almost $4 for every product. So let's go ahead and put the price to $12.99. I feel like that's not asking too much. Price, let's see what other people are selling theirs for. So let's do acne patches. Okay, so I mean, people are selling these things for up to $29. So let's go ahead and compare this price to $24.99, or let's do $26.99. So that the people know that they're getting a good deal by shopping from us. So that looks good. You want to make sure you charge tax on this product. Scroll down further. Then you scroll all the way down and you want to hit edit website SEO. And this is where you can kind of edit your URL. So I'm just going to go ahead and since this is a one product store, I'm going to type in patches just to make it a little shorter, look a little nicer. Okay, and I mean, this is looking pretty neat. I'm going to go ahead and save this. And now we can actually go ahead and check out how this looks. So let's go back into the theme. Okay, so there's our product. It looks pretty neat. We got, okay, I don't like this font over here, the $12.99. We're gonna go ahead and go into the colors and fix that real quick. Settings, colors, sale tags. Let's go ahead and keep them black. Actually, I don't know. Let's see how it looks like if we do the sale tags in the pink. Sale tags. Okay, I think that looks better, just so it doesn't look too bland. Got $12.99. Okay, and this image is squeezed, so I'm gonna have to switch that or just edit it. And then this font is also messed up, so I'm gonna also have to edit that. Okay, but other than that, it looks pretty good. Let's save that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get into all of the legal pages. So under your online store, you see all these different menus. You wanna go even below them and hit the settings button. Then go to legal. Once you're here, go ahead and hit create template for the refund policy, for the privacy policy, same thing. And then for the terms of service, same exact thing. As for the shipping policy, we're gonna go ahead and leave that blank for right now. Then go ahead and press save. Then go ahead and right click online store and open a link of it in a new tab. Head over there. Go down to pages under the online store. Once you're here, go ahead and press add page. Let's title the first one refund policy. Then go ahead and go back to the other tab and select the whole refund policy that Shopify has already generated for you. So just select the whole thing and then paste it over where the content section is. So Command V and save that. Then go back and add another page. This one is going to be the privacy policy. So title it privacy policy. And then go back and copy the generated privacy policy. Then once again, you want to go back, create another page, and this one is going to be your terms of service. And save that one as well. Once you do that, go ahead and go back to pages, and we're going to create two more, so add another one. This one is going to be called Contact Us. And you don't want to put anything for the content on this one. Instead, go over to template and select page.content and save that. So when you do this, Shopify will actually create a contact page where customers can go, type in their email, type in their message, and contact you. So I'll show you guys how the page actually looks in just a little bit, but just having this page makes your store appear a lot more trustworthy and legit. Your customers want to know that if they need to contact you, that they can. Now let's go ahead and go back to the pages, and we're going to add one more page here, and this one is going to be the track your order page. And what you can write is something like this: see where your package currently is using the link below, and then you can put in this link over here, which I will show you what that does. When the customers click that link, it's going to lead them to this website where they can actually enter their e-packet tracking number, hit track, and it'll actually work. It'll track their package. There's better ways to do this, but they're a lot more complex and they're actually going to cost you money. The main other way of doing this is actually downloading a Shopify app called Aftership. So if you want to do that, you can look into it, but I would recommend just going with this. It's very simple and it does the job. Now what you want to do is go over to navigation. Okay, so once you're inside the navigation section, you want to go ahead and click this main menu button. Here we can actually add the pages we just made. So hit link, go to pages, and then go ahead and start with a contact us page. Add that over there, and then do the same thing for the rest of the pages. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And the last thing you want to do here is change the name of the catalog section. If you have a one product store, you can either do something like rename it to order, or you can put the name of the product. I think I'm going to go ahead and put order. And then for the link, you want to switch that to product, and then choose the product, and then apply changes. And I think we're pretty much done here. Go ahead and hit save. And now if we go back to our store here, hit customize, we can actually check out the menus. And so now here's what everything we just did actually looks like. When we go on this menu over here, you can see all of the pages we just created. Here's how the contact us page looks like. So the customer can type in their name, email, phone number, and type in a message. They'll send it, and that will actually direct to your email that you signed up with Shopify with. And then you can click around the rest of the menus. You got the privacy policy here, and there's the privacy policy we created. So this makes your store look so much more legitimate and trustworthy. And while we're on this editing section, I actually forgot to add the featured product to the homepage. So to do that, it's very easy. You hit select product and you put in the product. Select. And there you go. And honestly, your homepage isn't even that important. If you use your product page as a landing page for all of your advertisements, a lot of your customers won't ever actually even look at your homepage. But I still recommend you put some time into it, just because if you make it look professional, it's gonna really boost the conversion rates on your store, and people will be much more likely to buy it if they see the homepage and it looks really nice. So that basically concludes the design portion of the homepage. I'm pretty proud of it. It looks pretty nice. I'll scroll through it here for you guys. So that's how it looks like. And if you hit full details here, it'll lead you to the product page. And now I'm going to show you guys how to remove the powered by Shopify thing down here, and then we'll get into how you want to set up your shipping. So let's hit save for now, and then let's head back over to the main Shopify page. And so the way you remove the powered by Shopify thing is once you're in the themes part of your store, go ahead and press edit languages. Then go into the search menu and just type in powered by, and then go ahead and scroll down to checkout and system, and where it says powered by Shopify, just go ahead and press the space button, save that, and that's going to do the trick. And so now when people scroll down, they're not going to see the powered by Shopify, they're just going to see your name, which looks a lot more professional. And again, the more professional your store looks, the better the conversion rate is going to be. So let's go back to Shopify now and work on the shipping stuff. Okay, so I haven't really seen anybody on YouTube or anybody in their courses talk about the way I structure my shipping, and I think it works really well. So let's go ahead and go over that real quick. So what you want to do is go ahead and put shipping into the search section of your Shopify store. Go down to shipping settings, and then go into manage rate. So then you want to scroll down and remove all of the ones that Shopify has preloaded. So delete those. Then go ahead and click add rate. And over here for the rate name, this is where you spill the beans that the customer's product is actually going to take a little while to ship. So what I mean by that is, let's see what the shipping is looking like for our product over here. Estimated delivery 9:30. It's currently the 13th. So it's looking like our product is going to take about 16 days to ship. So for the rate name, what you can do is put domestic shipping, and then in parentheses add 12 to 16 business days. So what this will do is that once your customer is at the checkout page, they have to choose a shipping rate. So if they choose this one and then proceed with the checkout, later on they can't be like, oh, I didn't know this product was going to take so long to get to my place, because they chose the shipping, they saw what it said, so they can't really bring up an argument against that. And also you can even broaden the range a little bit just so it's not as scary. You can do like 10 to 16. And the key here is to put 10 to 16 business days, not just regular days, because if you put regular days, that's cutting it kind of close. You're not sure if the product will actually make it there in 10 to 16 regular days. But when you put business days, most customers won't even really think about the difference between regular and business days. However, this will allow you a lot more time for the product to arrive in the time that you said it would. And now for the cost, this is entirely up to you. If you want to add $1.99 to make an extra $2 from the shipping, you can do that, although it's probably going to drive your conversion rate down a little bit. If you want to increase your conversion rate, just go ahead and do free shipping. So we'll go with free shipping for this store, hit done. Now once you have the US shipping zone down, go ahead and create another shipping zone and title this one Express Shipping. And then in parentheses, put something like 16 to 50 business days. And then down here, you can go ahead and press rest of world. And you might be thinking, okay, but nobody's actually going to buy it if it says 16 to 50 business days. But if people really do buy it, this is what I do on my dropshipping stores, and I get a ton of international orders. So this isn't really going to turn off that many people. And with a range this broad, you're really going to play it safe, because when people email you and ask you why it's taking so long for your order to arrive, you can tell them that they chose the express shipping option, which was 16 to 50 business days. And also you might want to add express worldwide shipping. 16 to, okay, that looks a lot better. And this will really ensure that you're being transparent and open with your customers, because they're actually going to have to select this option in order to proceed with the checkout. So that's going to conclude this part. Go ahead and press done. And then, sorry, actually go ahead and copy this portion right here. Click add rate, type rate name, and go ahead and press done. Okay, now we're done. So go ahead and save that. And now I'll show you guys how this actually looks like to the customer. So when your customer is checking out, they will eventually get to this page, and this is where you see the domestic shipping, 10 to 16 business days, it's free. Then they would hit continue to payment. Now, another thing you want to do in terms of shipping is go down to your settings menu and go ahead and hit checkout. And then you want to scroll down and select require first and last name. The reason you want to make sure you do that is because to order from AliExpress, you need to put a first and a last name. And if you don't select this, some people are just going to put their first name, go ahead and check out. And this will actually mess up the automation services I'm going to show you guys later on in the course. So just make sure you put require first and last name and then save that. Now let's get into some apps that I would recommend you guys use. So to access this page, you want to go ahead to your menu here, hit apps, and then hit visit the Shopify App Store. So the first app you want to download is called Ali Reviews. It's this one right here. Go ahead and add the app. And what this app will allow you to do is actually import some AliExpress reviews that real people have left on the product that your customers will be receiving. And you can import those reviews on your website, on your product page, and it's going to make your store look so much more legit and really drive up that conversion rate. Now this app does cost $9 per month, but I really highly recommend you guys go ahead and dish out the $9 because this thing is going to do wonders for your store. Having reviews on the bottom of your product page can be the difference between you succeeding and failing with dropshipping, so $9 per month is really a small price to pay. And by the way, I'm not associated with this app at all. They're not paying me to say this. I just think that it's genuinely a good app. And I think they also have a 7-day free trial, so you can actually check it out. If you don't like it, you can switch out to a different review app, but this is what I would recommend you guys use. Now the second app you want to download is called Biaheza. So I'm going to go ahead and download this and I'll explain what it is in just a second. This app right here, Biaheza, is an absolute lifesaver. What this app will allow you to do is actually make bulk orders on AliExpress. This app is made by the actual AliExpress company. And so say you got 100 orders, what you can do is just press a couple buttons on this app and they'll send them over to AliExpress where you can bulk order them and really quickly fulfill all of your orders. And another cool thing about this app is it's absolutely free. You can fulfill thousands of orders through this app for free because it's made by AliExpress. So this app, I mean, when I discovered it, I was blown away. This thing is huge. This app is kind of low key. Nobody really talks about it, but I mean, it replaces the need for virtual assistants that order the products for you, since you can just do thousands of orders on your own in just like an hour or so. The other option is fulfilling your orders through an app called Oberlo, but not only will that app charge you money, but it's also basically manually doing it. You can't do bulk orders through it. I mean, with how much I'm praising Biaheza, you think that I'm getting paid by them, but I just, again, truly believe that this is genuinely an amazing app and I would recommend you guys get it. So those two apps are really the only two that you actually need. Now you can go ahead and explore the App Store and add some different apps, add some new features to your store, but I would recommend that you be very careful with adding a ton of apps to your store. The problem with adding too many apps is that it's actually going to start slowing your store down. So when people go on your store, it's going to take longer for it to load. And also when you have all these little tweaks and all these pop-ups coming out all the time from all the different apps that you use, it's going to make your store look a lot less professional and it's going to make it look a little scammy. So be very careful when you download all these apps. You definitely do not want to overdo it. Okay, so the time will probably come when you're advertising with an influencer and you want to give them a discount code that they can give their audience so they have some incentive to order from your store. So to set that up, it's very simple. All you got to do is go to the menu here and go down to discounts. The first line here is the actual discount code that you would give the influencers or whatnot. So if I was working with David Dobrik and I wanted to give his audience a 20% discount, I would do something like David20. It doesn't really matter what you put as the discount code. You want to keep it simple though. And when you scroll down to the types, you can choose what kind of discount you want to give them. For this, it's going to be 20%. So you'd scroll even further down where it says value, put in 20%. And then you can play around with some other options. You can do a minimum purchase amount for that discount code to work. You can make it one-time use. You can make it so that only specific groups of customers can use it. And then you can set up the date when it goes live and then hit save discount code. And you can also do something like fixed amount, put $20 here. And now David20 is going to give your customers $20 of their whole order instead of 20%. You can also do free shipping and then buy X, get Y. I actually really like the buy one, get one discounts, but I usually won't do buy one, get one free because that's pushing things a little too far. You probably won't be profitable if you do that. Instead, what I recommend you do is set up a buy one, get one 50% discount. Because here's the thing, if we look at our acne patches, most of the cost comes for the shipping. So if we sell the acne patches for $12 and someone uses a buy one, get one 50% coupon on it and they purchase 2, then you get an extra $6 on your order. So now the customer pays you an extra $6, but you'll only have to pay an extra $1.69 to give them that second acne patch set. And that's because if you're shipping 2 products to the same address from the same seller, they're going to put it in one package and you only have to pay the shipping price once. So that's definitely a tactic you can use to kind of upsell people, and the people who use the code are going to feel great about it because they're getting a great deal. I mean, buy one get 50% off is a pretty big deal. So definitely get creative with the discount codes, and if your profit margins are really good, they're super high, you can even try doing a buy one get one free sale, and if you're still profitable after that, that's going to drive a lot of customers to your store. Time for the last thing you need to do with your website, and that's going to be buy a domain name. To do that, just go ahead and search in domain in your search here, and you can hit domain, or if you actually want to know how to get there without search, you can go ahead and hit online store and hit domains. Once you're here, go ahead and press buy new domain. Type in what you want it to be. So ideally, I would definitely recommend you guys think of a store name that has the .com domain available for it. It's honestly a pretty big deal that you have the .com domain. It's going to make your website look so much more legitimate and trustworthy. However, if you have an absolutely amazing name and you really bout it, you really want to stick with it, the second best thing I would recommend you guys to do is go ahead and hit show next 10 and purchase the .co, which is usually going to be available. Okay, so it is for pimplepatches.co. I only went with Pimple Patches because I'm making this store specifically for this course. When I was actually selling this product, I didn't go with Pimple Patches because that .com domain is really that important. So I absolutely strongly urge you guys to think of a store name that has the .com domain available for it. But I'll go ahead and buy this .co one just for this course. Once you press buy, this window will pop up. Then you go ahead and click buy domain. So after you pay for your domain, it's sometimes going to send you a confirmation email, which you have to confirm. And then once you do, you're pretty much set. And so now when you go on your domains, you can see the domain you just bought over here under Shopify managed domains, but you actually want to make it your primary domain. So what you want to do is head to primary domain, hit change primary domain, and switch that over to the new domain you just bought and hit save. So it's now your primary domain and you're basically all set. One more thing I got to mention though is, as you can see here, it says SSL pending. And you never want to start advertising before that's completed, because what this will actually give you once it is this lock symbol right here. Now, if it's still pending, it's actually going to say not secure on top of your link when people go on your website. And nobody's really going to want to purchase from your website when it says not secure on top right next to your link. So usually, from my experience, this pending process takes a couple of hours. At most, I don't think it should take more than 24. Now, to launch the store and make it go live and allow customers to order from you, you're going to have to select the Shopify plan. Before you do that, you'll usually have this tab down here, or you can access this through your home. But when you hit select plan, it's going to give you a couple different options here. And I'll tell you right now, you absolutely do not need to go with a $79 one or the $299 one. Just go with a $29 basic package and hit choose this plan. I mean, I have a 7-figure Shopify store on the basic plan, so you absolutely don't need to upgrade. The $29 one is going to be completely fine. So just go ahead and hit the $29 every 30 days. And although you need to put in some payment information to actually select a plan, it's not going to charge you until your trial is over. So after paying, I would still have 13 days to cancel this trial and I wouldn't get charged the $30. So now I'm going to go ahead and scroll down and hit start plan. So after you choose a plan, you can go ahead and hit online store, hit disable password, and just go ahead and uncheck this box, hit save, and your store is officially live. So if I go in a new tab here and type in pimplepatches.co, it's going to lead us to our website. Now, it doesn't look too good because this is on desktop. It'd look a lot better on the phone, which I designed it for, but I mean, it's live, it works, and people can now order from it. And over here, you can actually see the not secure thing instead of the lock symbol, which I talked earlier about in the domain section of the course. But once the SSL is approved in a couple of hours, that's going to have the lock, everything's going to be secure, and we're going to be ready to sell to people. So here we got basically the final result. We'll start with the homepage here. You'll scroll down, you see some product images, see some solid, nice, clean branding going on. It's a very simplistic design. You got the product on the homepage since it is a one product store, and then you got the email sign up. Now, when you hit full details, that'll lead you to the product page. Now, when you scroll down, you can see the price here. You can see that it's on sale. Then you got a product description and a diagram. And what I want you guys to notice is that it's not tacky. It's a very minimalistic design. There's not a ton of different colors everywhere. It all kind of flows together. Now, on the very bottom of the page, this is where your reviews would go when you import them from AliExpress. I didn't do it because this is just an example store, but I wouldn't even recommend you launch your store unless you get some reviews on there. And if you don't like the Ali Reviews app I recommended earlier, you can also use a reviews app called Loox. That's Loox. But whichever app you use, make sure you import some AliExpress reviews on your product page. That's very important. Now, I don't want to waste time in this course going over exactly how to import the reviews, just because when you install the app, they come with nice, exact step-by-step tutorials. So by me going over in detail how to install them would just be a waste of time. But once you do install it, this is what the reviews will look like. This is the bottom of a page of a dropshipping store that I found that's selling a hair removal product, and I'll scroll through it just so you guys can kind of get the idea of how the design looks like when you install the app. It even comes with pictures, so you can import some picture reviews, which is really helpful because those reviews are the best. Now, if a customer wants to write a review, they can go ahead and press write a review, and they can put their name, their email, their rating, and write a comment. Now this app has a feature where you can actually have the review be sent to you first for approval so that it doesn't go directly on the product page. So that's also a pretty cool feature, but that's basically the app in a nutshell.